Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be able to just share with you a little bit of what we saw on Sunday um, on God's design for healthy community. And we're just going to go over some of the points that we touched on. And so really quick, I want to go to Acts 2:42 to 47, which we based the whole sermon on. It says, they devoted themselves to the apostle teachings and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to one another, to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. So we were just talking about healthy communities. And we started off saying, that we live in one of the most connected eras of history, right? But yet many people feel deeply lonely. What a contradiction, right? We can attend church, serve on teams, and still not truly feel like we belong. So today I just want to touch on that. What does it mean to have a healthy community? Because we read in the New Testament and we see something completely different from what we're living or we're experiencing today. Christianity was not meant to be lived alone, but in community. So I just want to share with you 4 points that we touched on this Sunday. And first of all, the thing that we see in Acts 2 here is that the healthy community is built on shared devotion. Now, what does this mean? Devotion means that community does not grow accidentally, but it grows intentionally. So that's what devotion brings, right? It means consistency. It means showing up. It means staying committed, even when it's not convenient to stay committed, right? So what were the people devoted to? It says they were devoted to the apostles' teaching, which means they were devoted to the truth, right? They were devoted to fellowship, to relationships, to the breaking of the bread. That means that they shared life together and seeking God together. So this is what devotion is. It means consistency, just like in marriage, right? We don't drift into intimacy. We drift into distance. And, if we are not intentional about connecting to others, we can slowly drift and grow apart. And that's not what a healthy community looks like. So, healthy community begins when we move from being occasional participants to consistent contributors. Consistency, where we're always being a part of what is being done here at church. A second point that we touched, and maybe I'm going really fast, but that's okay. So you guys can have more time to discuss, all right? So healthy community also, it shares life. It shares life, not just a space, right? We don't just come and gather in a space and then we all go our own way, but we share life, okay? In Acts 2:44, all who believed were together and had all things in common. So they didn't just attend gatherings, right? They shared life. They shared meals. They shared resources. It says that they shared joy. They shared also pain. Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Man, we want to fulfill the law, the will of Jesus in our life. It says to bear with one another's burdens. And you know what? We cannot bear with one another burdens if we don't know what our brother, what our sister is carrying. what they have in there, what is burdening in them in their hearts. Yeah. So isolation. This is a big word here that we touched on Sunday. Isolation is something that is hurting our communities, especially in this era. Like I said, we're so connected, but we really aren't. We're isolated. And isolation doesn't usually destroy faith suddenly, or doesn't destroy healthy communities suddenly. It slowly weakens it. It slowly brings unhealthiness to our communities. It's like a log that is removed from a fireplace, right? It slowly grows cold. And that's the way isolation can happen in our lives. You know, we stop attending, we stop getting involved, and slowly but surely we can grow cold. So, the Christian life is not about being alone. You know, the Bible, and especially the New Testament, is filled with one another commands, right? Love one another, forgive one another, pray for one another, encourage one another, bear with one another. So these commands require relationships, yes? So a healthy community means moving from rows to circles, yeah? From attending services to building relationships. Now, don't get me wrong, rows are good, right? Rows are good. We worship in rows, yeah? And we receive teaching in rows. But real growth often happens in circles. And this is what's happening with you right now as you're gathering in a life group, right? You went from being in a row on Sunday morning to being in a circle in this group that you are joining in. So in rows, we listen. In circles, we share. In rows, we can stay anonymous. Nobody talk to me, please, right? But in circles, you are known. So moving from rows to circles simply means choosing relationship, joining a group, staying after the service to chat a little bit, inviting someone into a conversation, and also just unloading and let others unload on you. Though rows inspire us, we're in a service and we're being inspired, we're being strengthened. You know what? Circles actually create community in our lives. Amen. So, yeah. The third point that we touched on was that healthy community protects unity, right? Healthy community protects unity. Psalms 133:1 says, "How good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity." So unity is beautiful, it's joy, it's good, but unity is also fragile. Okay, Ephesians 4:3 commands us. It says, "Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace." Now, we just got to notice here that it doesn't say that we create unity. It says that we keep unity, and we have to make the effort to keep the unity. So unity entails or requires effort. It does not maintain itself. Even the early church, my brothers, my sisters, as good as we want to see it and say, wow, believe me, they had conflict. That's why Paul had to write all those letters, right? So what made them healthy, though, was not the absence of tension or of conflict, but the presence of reconciliation. So that's what unity is about. That's what making an effort is about. reconciliation. So we protect unity by choosing reconciliation over being right. We always want to be right. When we come into a discussion or conversation, we want to prove our point. And that can take us into separation, right? In a relationship, or block a relationship. So we prefer to choose reconciliation over being right. Another thing is refuse gossip. Man, gossip is like termites in the building, and it's slowly but surely destroying the foundation or the building. So we just got to be careful, with what we're saying, how we're saying it, who are we saying it to, and we want to really honor our brothers and sisters. Another way that we protect unity is that we assume the best. We always assume that we give the benefit of the doubt. We do not assume that these people are, wanting to be mean with me or whatever it is. It's most probable that it is just a misunderstanding, right? They saw you like with this face or something, or they didn't say hi or whatever it was, right? You know what? Probably they were having a rough day. We want to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Maybe something's going on in their life, and we don't judge, but we say, man, and we go up to them and we say, hey, are you okay? I felt like maybe you didn't respond, like I was expecting you to, and is there something going on? And we can bring clarity, right? So we assume the best. This leads into the last effort that we can do, right? Addressing issues directly but lovingly. Yeah? We just talk and we have this conversation. We don't confront, right? Confront is, I'm right and you have to align to what I know. We have conversations. So, important point here. Healthy churches are not conflict-free churches, okay? They are churches that handle conflict in Christ-like ways. So, yeah. And our last point was that healthy communities grow. Healthy communities grow. Acts 2:40 says, and the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. Now, what happens here? Something that we need to understand about growth is that growth is not forced. Growth is a result of wellness, of being healthy, right? If we have a plant, man, my wife and I are bad at plants. Wow, we kill plants. And it's like, we can't have plants in our house. We've had one, and that one, it's been a miracle that it's still alive because we don't even water it. I mean, it's like, I don't know how this thing is alive. So there's instances where there's miracles that happen, right? But generally, you have to take care of a plant, right? You have to maintain it healthy. And if that plant is healthy with good soil, with sunlight, with watering, it will grow, right? It has no other option but to grow. So healthy communities grow, all right? Jesus said in John 13:35, by this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. What am I trying to say with this? That people are going to see that we are such a healthy community, that we love one another, and they're going to be attracted by this love, by this health that we have in our community. When the world sees genuine love, when the world sees genuine forgiveness, when the world, my brothers, my sisters, see genuine humility, unity, it sees the evidence and the witness of the love of Jesus in our lives. So healthy communities, they just don't bless the people inside of the community, but it actually reaches to the people outside of the community and draws it in. And that's how the church in Acts grew, because they saw the love, they saw the willingness to give to one another, to bear with one another. And that's what a healthy community looks like. So I encourage you to take some time. There's some questions for discussion there in your life group. And share with one another these discussion questions. Really quick, number one, which of the three areas do you personally find most challenging right now? Right? Number two, what is one practical step that you would take this month or this week, right, to move from rows to circles? Have you ever experienced isolation in your spiritual life? What helped you reconnect? And lastly, is there any relationship where you need to pursue reconciliation? Thank you so much, guys, for listening, and I hope you enjoy your time of discussion. God bless you.